Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to this Saturday's edition of Super Conscious Outlet, featured on Blog Talk Radio, Universal Radio 2. We are excited to have as our media spokesperson, God King Grasshopper. He is known in the community as an African-centered motivational teacher and a service provider that inspires the youth to understand African awareness in his local community. He currently supports and facilitates events for the organizations of the Ka Men's Society, the House of Amun-Ra, and Sma Tawi. He sits alongside as co-host with the divine goddess Koshana Kweli Jones. Currently, she facilitates the learning environment as an expert metaphysician who teaches on the principles of African spiritual science. Queen Goddess Koshana is the founder of numerous organizations, the Voice of Mayat, and Global African Awakening, which can be found on Facebook. Her sole purpose in life is to motivate and awaken her people. Please give a special attention to our co-host, God King Grasshopper, and our featured host, Goddess Kweli Koshana Jones.
Peace, love, and light, family, and welcome to the Super Conscious Outlet, where we are committed to the awakening of our people. I am your host, Queen Koshana Kweli, and I am joined today by my amazing co-host, God King Grasshopper. Grasshopper, are you with us?
Yes, I am definitely in the place, and I am looking forward to this dialogue today dealing with the melanin. Before we get into that, I would like to take this opportunity to go and read our sponsors. First up, Global African Awakening, which can be found on Facebook.com. It cultivates an environment that is positive for those going through an awakening. If you want more information, simply inbox me, Grasshopper, or Koshana Jones. I would like to also give a shout-out to Blacks Be Like, which can also be found on Facebook.com/Blacks Be Like and the number 1. Also, check out my Sistars Keeper. Sistars is spelled Sistars. My Sistars Keeper can be found on Facebook.com/My Sistars Keeper. We also have Success Goddess Money. She's an expert with credit repair, financial consultant, and real estate. You can find her at Success Goddess Money on Facebook. That is Success, SUCCESS, space, Goddess, GODIS, space, money, MONEY. We also have Devon Allen. He is a personal fitness trainer who has a program called Reshape the People's Workout and Meal Plan. You will find him on his cell phone at 310-438-0154, or you can simply email him at the letter D, things, that is D things, THINGS, numbers 1236 at AOL.com. And finally, family, if you're in the greater Los Angeles area, Sunday morning around 10:30 a.m., please visit the famed Crass Unity Center of African Spiritual Science. Address is 7825 Southwestern Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90047. And that is the place where you can get some food for thought, nourishment for the soul, and fruit for the spirit under the teaching of the senior minister, Reverend Mary Kara. Once again, Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Thank you for allowing me to read the sponsors. And now I'd like to turn the program back over to the great Goddess Koshana Kweli Jones Dow.
Thank you, Brother God. Today is going to be an amazing show, and I am truly excited. But before we begin, I know you wanted to mention someone very special today that we need to pay honor to. So I'm going to hand it right back over to you.
Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Queen Goddess Koshana. Today we're going to be talking about melanin. We're going to go in depth on what melanin is, But I would like to take this opportunity to dedicate this program, this dialogue, to a man who was an expert on melanin. He is no longer with us. He is an ancestor. He is the author of The Black Dot, and his teachings have helped to even awaken to some degree the Black Dot, the hip-hop metaphysician artist. We would like to take the time to dedicate this dialogue, this program, to the great ancestor, Dr. Richard King. He left among us last year, and I would like to take this opportunity for us to have a moment of silence as we pay tribute to the Melanin Man, the great ancestor, Dr. Richard King. Let's take a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much, family, and the ancestors with us in this program. Let's get to it. Goddess Quayle, Koshana Jones, Dow. Let's do it.
Yes. Today's topic is a very, very powerful topic. It's life-changing. Just over the course of the last few months, my mind has completely flipped inside out the more I've learned about the power of melanin and what it means to us. I was fortunate enough to come across a trailer a few months ago called Melanin The God Particle. And when I clicked, the button to watch it, I had no idea of the feelings I was going to receive. I didn't understand, what it was going to do to my consciousness. Immediately, I shifted. I really started to realize that this entire story, this entire existence is about us, that it's really about us, family, and that, everything that we're wondering, why have we had it so hard? Why is it so difficult? Why would we be created in a world where everyone is just against us? What is that about? I watched just a few minutes of a trailer, and it just answered, most of my questions. So I had to get in contact with this brother and talk to him personally and let him know what an inspiration he has been to me. And we will be fortunate enough to have him joining us today as one of our guests. But let's just get into a little dialogue first. Many of us have been taught that being black was ugly, that it's dirty. The dictionary defines it as dirty and evil and all these negative connotations with the word and description of being black. When you really realize that being black or having melanin is an actual gift from the Creator, that you are literally God in the flesh, when you understand the spiritual aspects, the magical attributes that come along with having melanin, your life will change forever. And it's not just to walk around, okay, I'm black, but it's to understand how to use that for your benefit, how to release the power of that melanin. So, family, without any further ado, I would like us to give a warm, super conscious outlet welcome to our guest, Brother Nazir Alim Bey.
Peace.
Brother Nazir, yes, you're with us.
Hey, how you doing? I appreciate y'all having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. It is an honor to have you on the show. And just to get started, why don't you let the guests know a little bit about yourself and how, what are your motivators? What's gotten you started and what inspired you to do your project?
Okay, well, first off, I'm 23 years old. Right now, I'm currently, I'm a filmmaker, but I mainly focus on music videos. But I kind of shifted from the music videos. I started shooting music videos about 2 years ago. But then I kind of shifted away from the music videos to kind of focus on documentaries because I feel like with documentaries I can focus on real issues and I can deal with, real people. One of the biggest things that really kind of motivated me to really kind of stick to documentaries was back in 2008. I shot a documentary entitled Atlanta's Forgotten. And I did this project on homeless people. And when I did this project, I didn't have any idea the type of response that I would receive for the project. It was like the very first time I've even picked up a camera. Even I didn't have no idea even how to hit record on the camera, but I ended up going out and shooting a documentary on homeless people. And my whole objective with this film was really to just show people that the people that you see roaming around the streets are not these throwed away people who nobody should care about. Like, a lot of these people are highly intelligent people who actually chose to be on the streets. So, with for the actual film, I mean, as far as the cinematography go and the videography, it wasn't a great film when it comes to that, but the overall message is what actually caused me to win the film competition. So when I won this film competition, something just kind of sparked in me. I'm just like, maybe I have something here, because I've always been an artist. My whole life I've drawn, painted, anything that's art. So when I won this film competition, I'm like, maybe I have something here. But it just over the years it kind of faded away, and then I picked up a film. I shot a documentary called Rastafari: The Untold Story, where we went deep into who Haile Selassie really was. And I still haven't even released that project, but the trailer itself had a lot of people talking. So I'm like, maybe I should kind of stick with the whole documentary thing. Now, fast forward to the Melanin project. Prior to last year, I was what you want to call somebody who was plugged into the matrix. I didn't, growing up, I used to hear people talk about black people being God and all of this type of stuff, and honestly, in my mind, I just thought these people were crazy. And it wasn't until last year, the Trayvon Martin case, to where it's like something sparked inside of me. Like something really just, like I said, because before, I of course I understand, I've experienced racism just like anybody else. I walk into a department store, people stare, and, the police officers always, look at you as being a suspect, just the usual racism. But I never really looked at it like it was just this terrible problem, because I was used to it. Sadly, just like most black people, we're conditioned to believing that it's okay. Like, this is a normal part of life for us,
Right.
And so it wasn't until the Trayvon Martin case to where something just went off on me. Like, why is it that these people really hate us so much? Why is it that if I put on the hood and walk in the neighborhood, somebody's going to think that I'm some type of criminal? And it's something about it. It's just, I can't explain. It was something about it that just really, 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 really drove me to look for answers. And so I started to do a lot of research around that time. And it's funny because around that same time, I started to have a lot of epiphanies. I started to have dreams and visions of, just stuff going on within the government, and, just a lot of stuff. And, it was really an awakening process. And literally over the course of days, I was turning into a completely different person. Just researching. Like, it got to the point where I shut my whole life down for probably about 6 months, just researching. Like, I wouldn't talk to nobody. I'm just researching all day and night. I changed everything. I stopped eating meat. I started meditating, doing yoga. Everything just started to change to the point to where nobody recognized me. Like, I was a completely different person, but it was a point to where I was the type of person that actually cared about what people thought about me. But in this phase of my life, I didn't actually care what people thought. So, with this Trayvon Martin case, like I said, it really touched something in me. So I started to do a lot of research on just black people in general, like a lot of the historical black figures. And, of course, like a lot of people, I came across the Hidden Colors DVD, and I learned about the Moors. And that in itself blew my mind. It took my mind to a whole other place. So I'm like, okay, we was never taught this in school.
Right.
When I was in school, the only thing they showed us was my ancestors and, and chains and being whipped and being hung and all of this type of stuff. So I'm like, if they would have, showed me this side of it, I feel like psychologically I probably would be a different person.
Right,
So, that right there really got me interested. So I started doing a lot of research on the Moors. I started to, because I never even looked into what being a Muslim was, but I started to look into the whole Muslim Nation of Islam stuff. And for me, I'm gonna tell you another big thing that happened to me was, I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and that right there was really like another major part, and really what had me doing research, because I got to a point in my life to where around that whole Trayvon Martin case, I was looking for answers, but I felt like I needed to find my way to God. So,
right.
I started to go to what they don't call it churches, they call it kingdom halls. So I started to go back to the kingdom halls, and I was sitting and I was just sitting there listening to the preacher speak or whatever, and he just started to say some stuff that just really, really, really didn't make sense. And and the thing about Jehovah's Witnesses is they pretty much brainwash you to believe that if you start to look outside of what they teach you, Jehovah's going to destroy you or punish you.
Right, you're going to go to hell, right.
Right. Well, not even hell, because they don't even really believe in hell. They just believe you, quote unquote, be destroyed, like your consciousness will never exist again.
Right.
So of course, I'm like, obviously, I don't want to be destroyed. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I was kind of skeptical about doing research on what he had told me. And so, but something told me to just go. Something just kept telling me, just go ahead and do some research, right? And I started to do some research, and I found out that the founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses was a 33rd degree Freemason. And then I found pictures of his gravesite with a pyramid over it. I'm just like, this is kind of interesting, since they don't like anything dealing with Egypt. And then I found out they was connected with the UN. And I'm like, that was extremely interesting, considering the fact that they always speak against the UN. And I just started to do a whole lot of research and started doing a whole lot of unraveling to the point to where I built up enough confidence to denounce that name Jehovah and that whole organization. And, I kind of went on a little spree to try to wake up my family, and, because my whole family, a lot of my family members are Jehovah's Witnesses. And I tried to unplug them and present them with information, but, obviously, they didn't want to hear it. And so I'm like, okay, if my whole life I thought that this person was God and this was the truth, you understand, like, this is always my refuge. If I got in any type of trouble, I'm praying to Jehovah. You know what I mean?
Right.
If anything, like, Jehovah and his people are my saviors, like, no matter what. And so when I felt like I couldn't run to these people, I'm like, what do I run to now? I was lost. So that's when I started to do a whole lot of research. And, I started to unravel a whole lot. And, that's when I started to learn about the Moors and, just everything, studying every single religion. Melanin, of course. Melanin, when I stumbled across melanin, because when it got to the Moors, and then I started to realize that the people that really are responsible for all the great things in this world were so-called black people, I'm like, obviously something has to be there. Obviously there has to be more to black people than what they're telling us. And, it's like what I understand, like if somebody, I was always told, somebody is always coming after you or, treating you in a bad way, it's because in some way they fear you. So I have to ask myself, what is it about us that they actually fear? And so I started to do a lot of research on melanin. And the research that I uncovered, just in that short amount of time, because from then up until now, I've uncovered a lot of information, and it just seems like it's never ending. But the little information that I uncovered then, it just took my mind to a whole nother level, So, and mind you, I'm from the Deep South. I'm from New Orleans. I'm from the Deep South. Where I'm from, black people definitely don't look at other black people as being the superior race. We walk around thinking, we're literally taught that this is a white man's world and you just live in it.
Yeah.
So for me to see something like this, it just completely just took my mind to a whole new paradigm. So, from that point on, I just, I started to, do a whole lot of research, and I got like the confidence that I had now, and like I said, one of the main reasons I want to do this film is because when I uncovered this information, it took me from feeling inferior. Like I used to be at a point to where I could be in a room with other races, and you know, if I'm the only black person in the room, I felt like, you know, I'm the stupidest person in the room or the most ignorant, the person who doesn't have the most knowledge, you know.
Right.
You know, and it's because, you know, because of how I was conditioned. But now, because of what I know about melanin, I feel like I'm the god in the room. You know what I mean? Like I have the most confidence. I don't have to walk in the room and put my head down or look at someone and feel like they have more knowledge than me. You know what I mean? Because now I realize that it's just been a big game that they've been playing psychologically.
Right.
And one of my main goals with this film is to, like I said in the film credits, is to reconstruct the psychological damage that plagues our community, just by simply giving our people knowledge of self. Because when you don't know who you are, you're just lost. You know what I mean? Like they can tell you anything, which they have. They've been just telling us anything, and we've been accepting what they've been telling us, and we've been living our life in just complete shambles. I remember when I used to look on TV and like the little Save Feed the Children foundations, and you know, you would have this white woman in the middle of an African village. And I'm just looking at, you know, the African children like, oh, these poor children, these poor children this, these poor children that. Now when I look at it, I'm looking at her like that poor woman, because I know who's the strongest now. You know what I mean? And you know, this film doesn't have anything to do with race or anything. It's simply giving the truth to a people who's been lied to.
Right, and it, you know, I salute you so much, because when I stumbled across your film, you know, I contacted you immediately. But just watching the trailer triggered so many things within my being. Because I've heard this and that about melanin. Mainly, we've heard, okay, it's the thing responsible for our pigmentation, and that's about as far as we've been taught. So, okay, you get your color from melanin. You haven't been taught of all the other attributes that are included with having melanin. So when I was just watching the film at just the beginning, and I was watching how you kind of highlighted, you know, Michael Jackson dancing, or the brother who was jumping to make a basket and how high he went, and all of a sudden my brain kind of was like, wait a minute, you know, this is some real stuff right here. We literally are superhuman. You know, we have supernatural powers. And this is a gift, and like you said, I went through years of, you know, being taught that, you know, black was bad and black was this. And I remember when I went through my awakening, which ironically was around the same age that you are at this moment. When I went through that awakening, I went out and I cried out to God at the time, because that's what I understood. You know, why would you create us black in a world that hates black people? You know, what was the point of this? You know, why am I here and everyone hates me? You know, it's just like you said, just highlighting and learning what makes us so different and why it is such a big deal. You know, because they don't hate you because you're inferior. They wouldn't waste that much energy on a being that is less than. They're threatened by you for a reason. So it was just amazing to me when I started researching also the power of melanin. Your documentary honestly really sparked that inside of me. Like, wow, you know, this is deep. And then when I found out how old you were, I was really, really just honored, and I salute you so much, because I think that at your age to take on a project like you were talking about, how, you know, you were doing all their projects before that. I honestly believe this is your calling. I feel such a powerful energy about this project that I can't even express it in words. That I've talked to my God King about it. I've talked to my cousins about it. I think this project, to me, it has, you know, a stronger impact on me than The Secret. Even when I watch The Hidden Colors, I love those documentaries, but something about your project, it has a very powerful energy around it, and I think that's why the spirit took over you. You know, that's what an awakening really is. But before we go on, I want to take in one caller Caller with the last 4214. You're on with the Superconscious Outlet.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. How's everybody?
Peace,
brother. We're good.
Peace.
Magnificent.
Yeah, brother. I just wanted to, to call and speak with you for a minute. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. At the age of 23, it's not gonna take up too much time. I could even break that down to you. You know what I mean? The numbers are significant, but the amount of time that you've been here is not significant because you've been here from the very beginning, and you will be here from now on. And if you understand what melanin is, I've tried to, alert people, educate, inform people of what melanin is. I had my first experience with melanin at probably about the age of 4 years old, and it's when I became aware that we were different in everything that we do. And at that same time, there were some doctors who were friends of my father, and they had a hand in research. And in '68, during the Vietnam War, when they were doing autopsies, this is when they really, really began to understand that melanin was a substance in our pineal gland. Melanin is one of the first things that forms a human being. And I'm quite sure by you doing the documentaries, you're aware of that.
Right.
And when you understand that, it can also, it's the first thing that can be noticed in the development of the human. Hueman. And the reason why, we walk different, we talk different, we can understand the slang. If people just take the time to just truly understand who we are, understand people how we came here to America and mastered a language that people that have been here as long and longer than us still cannot speak this so-called, excuse my language, it's just a bastard language, but they still cannot speak it, and they've been here longer than us. So that showed me at a very early age, you know what, we're highly intelligent. We are very intelligent. And a lot of us, and as you continue, brother, on your journey, you're going to come into a better understanding of self, and you're going to be able to educate, others more. And this is the whole thing about evolution, and it's to proceed and to go and evolve as people. So I basically just called in to share that, with you, to let you know that I will be supporting you. But this is a real big topic. One thing that just kind of swayed me when you refer to us as so-called black people. Now, understanding that, are you a Moor? I want to just
yes, I'm a Moor. Yeah, I'm a Moor.
You are a Moor. Okay. As you research at some point, this is not a debate, and I don't want to, have it turned into an argument or a misunderstanding of any sort. But at some point, you'll understand that black is just synonymous with Moor. Moor is synonymous with black. So when we call ourselves black, we understand that that's the blackness, because everything comes from the blackness. And we've debated this word for decades, so I'm not going to go into that tonight. But, truly, when you go outside and you look into the deep darkness of the sky and down there in the south, wherever, where you're from, and you see and you will understand what blackness is and the vastness of blackness and how everything, even ultraviolet light, comes from blackness. That's
right.
And listen, brothers and sisters, I just wanted to, stop, give y'all my support. Sister Koshana, Brother Grasshop, that's what I do. So, big up to y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Brother, what's your name, by the way, brother?
My name is Nazir Alim Bey.
Nazir Ali Bey?
Alim. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ali. Okay, brother.
Yeah.
Nazir. Yeah. Big ups to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. And people, let's try to bridge this generation gap. Because that's another thing. That's how they keep us trying to separate us. Understand this. We are all one. There's only one consciousness. And we're all a part of it, whether you choose to be or not. Peace. Big ups to y'all. Keep doing always love on my
Thank you for calling.
I appreciate it.
Thanks. Hey, brother, this is Pianki, your grasshopper. And I want to ask a question, pretty basic question. First of all, I definitely commend you for your seeking and being a searcher and being a voluminous researcher and pursuing what you were sent to do. as far as being a filmmaker. I got a couple of questions. First of all, I would like to know, you pretty much expound on what inspired you to become a filmmaker. Can you expound on who may inspire you to be a filmmaker? And I'll also like to get your intake on, can you give us a definition of what melanin means to you?
Okay. As far as who inspired me to be a filmmaker, I wouldn't necessarily say anybody in particular. I used to look at people like Spike Lee, and I used to be inspired by some of his work, but even with his work, it's not quite on the level of work that I'm looking to accomplish. My main goal is to become the most controversial documentary filmmaker that ever walked the face of this earth. And the only reason why I say controversial is because when you're given truth, obviously a lot of people are going to bash the truth,
Right.
So, like I said, it wasn't anybody in particular. The main thing that really inspired me, like I said before, to really become a filmmaker is, number one, I possess the skill to be able to tell stories through film. I have a lot of work. I wish I had some work I could show you guys. Matter of fact, when you guys get a chance, you can go to my website. I don't know if it's still up, but it's greenlightfilms.com. And, you just kind of sift through the videos that I've shot. I definitely have the ability to be able to tell stories, and I do it like easy. It's just natural. It's something that's just second nature. About 2 years ago when I decided I didn't even really decide. I just kind of picked up the camera and just kind of went out and started shooting. And all of a sudden, within weeks, people were ready to pay me to shoot their music videos. So, I realized that it was something there.
Wow.
Now, that's just one part of it. Now, the second part is the fact that over this past year or so, I really had this desire to seek truth. And like you guys said, it was an awakening process. Like I found that I was an indigo child. I found out a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So and just with knowing that I was, that I'm an indigo child, obviously I was sent back to this planet in order to help this planet. Be able to help the people on this planet. And so I felt like, it's nothing in my heart, nothing in my soul that tells me this is not what I'm supposed to do. I was just working with a really big rapper. I don't really want to say his name, but I was working with a big rapper, and recently, probably about 7 months ago, and they offered me a lot of money to just stay on the team and shoot all their music videos, and I did a couple projects for the people in that camp, but I realized the projects that I was doing was helping destroy my people. So, I made a conscious decision to say, all right, when I tell you, like, it was a feeling that was just something, it's like something was literally screaming at me, telling me, you're just selling your soul. You're selling your soul. You know what I mean? And that's another thing, when people say, talk about selling their soul in the industry, it's not like a physical thing. You're selling your soul just by being involved in something that is detrimental and destroying other people's lives. Because somebody once told me it's not about the money that makes the man. It's about how many lives did he affect, how many lives he changed. So, I have to make a decision to say, all right, forget the money. It was quite a lot of money, but I said, it is what it is. I would rather help my people, because once I'm dead and gone, that money's going to serve me no purpose. So I just merged the two. I said, okay, if I'm such a talented filmmaker, I have this desire for truth, why don't I just start making films exposing the truth?
Right.
So,
that is powerful. Right. That's really powerful. And what is the definition of melanin? What is melanin?
Melanin, like he said, in my view, melanin, in my view, my opinion, from everything that I researched, melanin is the key particle to life. Melanin is life. Melanin, like the brother just called and said before, melanin is found in the conception of life. Like when a baby is born, the first chemical, the chemical that creates that baby is melanin. All of space is melanin. I remember when I was studying with the Rastafarians, because part of my whole awakening, of course, I was moving through everybody, just getting knowledge from everybody. And the first group that I ran into was with the Rastas. And actually, one of the Rastas is actually in my film that I'm putting out. But his name was Rasabuna. And Rasa Bona made a comment one day saying that he asked me, did I know where diamonds come from? And, obviously I didn't know. And he told me that diamonds came from me. And he said that because of my black skin, because of this melanin that I have, when black people die, their bones break down and their bones, the melanin and the carbon, the bones break down with the carbon and the melanin combines with it and it creates diamonds after thousands of years. And
wow.
Yeah, and it went on to tell me how the reason people were really in Haiti talking about an earthquake in places like Africa is because whenever there's a large group of black people, there's a large amount of diamonds in the area. And so from that, it just kind of blew my mind. And so, like I said, from everything that I learned about melanin. And, I don't care what anybody else is. Like I said, like the first thing, like Kashana mentioned, the first thing they tell you is the chemical that's responsible for your skin pigmentation. That may be what somebody who don't want to tell the truth definition is. But, in my definition, it is the chemical key to life. Melanin is life itself. Melanin created all life on this planet.
That is amazing.
That's
wow. And as I've been researching it more, they've been saying things like melanin is the biological living light. Can you interpret that for us and make that a little bit clearer? Biological living light.
It's the biological living light and living light.
Yes.
You said it. Okay. And where did you read this?
Actually, I've been looking it up on the internet and on YouTube, and it was a sister who was doing a little thing on melanin. And I think also Professor Griff says it too, and he says biological living light. And I'm trying to interpret that and make it clear for myself.
Right. Well, from hearing it, I wouldn't be able to know exactly what they mean by using the term, but from hearing it, it's just like from what I get from it, from darkness, light was born. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what it means.
So, right. So, Right. So, like I said, melanin is that life force. Melanin is all life on this planet. You know what I mean? So, when something's, unconscious, unborn, anything, it's just in pure darkness. It's just like, a baby in a womb, it's in pure darkness. But once it's ready to begin life, it comes out to the light. So that's pretty much what I get from it.
That's what it is, like Griff, the great Richard King, and so many others in a practical sense. It's pretty much the black melanin is everything coming out of the macro womb and the micro womb of the universe. So it's meaning, like you said, it's like the universe, the whole ambiance of life, you know what I mean? And melanin is pretty much a dark chemical substance that is covering every vital organ of our body that keep us in tune with that macro, keep us in tune with the sun. We don't get no melanoma. You dig what I'm saying? It keeps us in tune with nature. And one of the things I got from you, good brother, when you was when I asked you who inspired you, you inspired yourself, good brother, because you tapped into your melanin. When you said you just got an urge, you're an indigo child, and you went out there and really accomplished all of the gifts, abilities, and capabilities, tapping and activating your melanin that one sovereign spirit or whoever you consider your sustainer to be deposited within you. You was tapping into the macro. You was activating your melanin. You was releasing it to the greatest of your ability. So pretty much in the practical and the simplistic term is pretty much like you said, biological light is the darkness, and from darkness comes the light, and we are at one with the universe, but we still need to tap into our melanin, because later on we're going to probably talk about what could be some of the disadvantages if we don't tap into our melanin. But I do believe we got a couple of callers on, Koshana.
Yes. I believe we have a caller with the last four digits, 0461. 0461, you're on with the Superconscious Outlet.
Hello, Peace Queen. How are you?
Peace, Goddess. How are you? I'm wonderful.
And Brother Grasshopper and our wonderful guest, this is Success Money. and I was calling. How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. How you doing?
Fabulous. I know my cousin has been trying to connect me with you about getting funding for this project because I help with funding and credit, and I hadn't had a chance to speak with you, but I did watch it. But some things have been moving in me because when you were telling your story, and when I first started becoming awakened, I actually asked the question. I was raised in, one religion and had friends in other religions, and it was just like, I would like for you to show me the truth. And I really wanted to see the truth. Like, I asked God to show me the truth, and I just became aware of all these books and things to listen to. And some documentaries, I've seen The Hidden Colors and Brother Quasey and different things start coming. But it started making me wonder, like, why is this stuff not mainstream? Like, they're not putting any, like, real major movies out, no real TV shows out that are really educating and empowering people. And so I had brought it up to a funder that I was meeting with because he's in town for other, like, major films. And that he was saying that most films that are in the box office are, something related for families, because if you got a movie or you got something that you can take your kids to, then that's a lot of tickets that are being sold, because it's not rated R, it's not something that's, offensive, but then it needs to be something that people are really taking interest. So that was like one conversation I wanted to have with you as far as strategy, because for people to really get this message, if it's not put out there in their face regularly, they have to want the information.
Right.
I want to know the truth. I want to know more about my people. So I'm excited that you're here and you're doing this so that we can have more information, especially in the visual entertainment form, to get out to people.
Right.
I want to give him your phone number, Success Got His Money, because it would be amazing. We're going to talk later on the show about the funding that he does need for the project. And so you guys, I really have been trying to get you guys to connect forever. So I'm going to give him your number if that's okay with you.
Okay, that's fine. I told you to text me his, but it's okay.
Yeah, you could definitely get my number. You could definitely text him my number.
Okay.
All right.
Peace. Thank you, Goddess. Peace. We have another caller in queue. Caller with the last four digits, 5798. You're on with the Super Conscious Outlet.
Hey, Hotep Goddess and Gods. This is
Hotep.
I just want to call in and commend you, Nasir, for researching at such a young age, at 23, really researching the way you are. And, I mean, it takes a lot to step away from the entertainment industry. So many sell their souls, and won't step away, even when they disagree with what's going on. For you to step away at such a young age, I salute you for that.
Right, I really appreciate it.
I'm going to look you up and support you.
I really, really appreciate it, my brother.
Good.
And that's just kind of elaborate on what he's saying. And that's something I kind of try to get across to my own family. Like I said, I mean I don't really want to name the artist's name, but I was with a really big artist, an artist who is really popular, and a lot of people, when I was with this artist, a lot of people would say I'm lucky and they wish they was me and all of this type of stuff, but I'm roaming around city to city with him feeling like the most unluckiest person because everything that was going on was not of my nature. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the drugs, the girls, and all of this type of stuff. The money and all of this type of stuff. Everything that they wanted and in their mind was important was highly unimportant to me. Like, it would be points to where we would be on the road, getting ready to do shows or whatever, and everybody else, listening to their music, smoking, doing whatever, and I'm in the back seat reading my books. You know what I mean? Just trying to get more knowledge. And, a lot of people in this camp would say, oh, I'm weird and, all of this type of stuff. But it didn't faze me one bit. But I just knew that at some point I was going to break off and do what I feel like I'm supposed to do, because something just kept telling me, this is it. This is what you're supposed to do. That's how I know for a shadow of a doubt with everything. Like, This is what I'm supposed to do. Nothing else can tell me this is not what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
I really
That's amazing.
for that.
What's your name? Who are we speaking with?
This is Willie.
Oh, peace, Brother God Willie.
Peace, got it.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. You guys definitely check out the trailer. I posted it in the Global African Awakening, but you can also find Brother God Nazir Alim Bey on Facebook, and it's Nazir Naazir Alim Alim Bey Bey.
Right.
Yeah, see about him.
You also said greenlightfilms.com, right?
Yeah, greenlightfilms.com. And if like I said, I don't know whether the site is still up because I hadn't done any Masons on in a while. But if not, you can just email me at when greenlightfilms.com is with a Z at the end. But for my email, it's greenlightfilms with an S 25@gmail.com. And if you want to see some of my work, I can just send you over a lot of my work.
Okay, perfect. I sure will.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, Brother Willie, thanks for calling in. We got another caller. Do believe this person is an elder of ours. Baba KB, you on Superconscious Outlet.
You just say Stephen Haki.
Tap Haki.
And thank you for allowing. First of all, thank you all for hosting this show. This is incredible. Life paralleled a lot of things that I know about myself, and I've got also a lot to know about the grasshopper. Yankee. I would just wanted to add a little bit to melanin. You know, when we talk about the definition of melanin and what it is, it's almost like trying to define the creator itself.
Right.
The question is, what is it not?
Right.
Everything. The other thing that I wanted to say is melanin is the fastest conductor of energy known to man. And what is energy? Energy is the creator itself, no matter what you call it. So it is one with it, and it is the creator in us. It is the creator in the fruit and the vegetables that we eat. Everything has a hue. Everything has a color. And that is the source of all of it is the thing that we call Unger, whatever we want to call it. I call it Unger. A question for the young brother. First of all, I need to know how I can see the film.
You said how you could view the film?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now, like I said, the trailer was up on Kickstarter, but the funding actually just ended. The campaign actually just ended yesterday, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet the goals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement a better marketing strategy and put it up on another site called Indiegogo.com, and I'll have the trailer up, but the actual film won't be ready until I get the funding to be able to produce it. But when it is ready, it'll be available on the It's going to be available on the website, the Melanin The God Particle website, and I'm probably going to have it on Amazon and a few other places as well.
Okay.
How can I see the trailer?
As of right now, like I said, I don't know if you can still view the trailer. Actually, you might still be able to view the trailer. Go to www.kickstarter.com and then type in Melanin The God Particle, and you might be able to still view it. If not, I'll post up the trailer on my Facebook, which is, you can just type in Nazir Alim Bey. I'm going to have to upload it to YouTube. But I'm actually in the process of doing another trailer as well. It's like an official trailer. So,
okay. I posted it in Global African Awakening. I think I posted it this week. And I just took it off your page and shared it. So it's still running. So I was still able to share it.
Oh, okay. So, it still might be up there. You still might be able to view it. So, but yeah.
Just one other question, if I can. Did you, in studies, did you run into anything about eumelanin and pheomelanin?
Could you repeat that?
Did you run into, in your studies, did you run into anything about eumelanin and pheomelanin?
New melanin and pheomelanin?
Yes, F-A-Y-O, like the old phase, and also eumelanin.
No. The only thing that I kind of ran into as far as like old and new or anything was the fact that our melanin today is not being used at its fullest potential, and number one is due to the fact that most people don't really know what melanated people don't really know what they possess, and number two, there are people who are deliberately creating products to destroy the melanin, like all of these lotions and hair products and all of this type of stuff are actually destroying the melanin. So only thing I kind of got from old melanin, new melanin was people in the ancient days. Obviously, they knew the science of melanin, knew the study of melanin, knew what melanin was, and they were using it at its full capacity, and so they were able to achieve greater things than what we are able to achieve today.
Okay.
Sure, brother.
It's not new. It's U, like the letter U.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you melanin. Can you spell on that real quick, brother?
That's and the pheo is F-A-Y-O.
Okay, F-A-Y-O. Okay.
Yeah, and basically the eumelanin, kind of melanin that black people have in our body.
Mm-hmm.
Pheomelanin is the kind of melanin that Asians have in their body. And so, capacity to take greater heat, greater cold, is in the eumelanin to be able to get the full benefit. And this is what black people have in our system. And this is why when you look at the Olympics or any of these races, almost every company has a black person. When it deals with speed, when you look at the NBA, when you look at all these, where you need the energy to be able to move quickly. And, I just think about, anyway, this is...
Right. Yeah, definitely. I know exactly. Hello?
Yes, sir. It's not all the same stuff. Every color is melanin, but they all have a different capacity. And we know that black contains every other color in it, and we know that blanco is the absence of color. I just wanted to add that to you.
Right. And I know exactly what you're talking about. Actually, on a show I did a couple of weeks ago with Minister Inky, we talked a lot about that. Yeah, because I remember somebody mentioning about we all have melanin, and then it kind of got into everybody has melanin, but different types of melanin. So yeah, I definitely understand what you're talking about.
Yes. Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
Work and thank you for the opportunity.
So
appreciate it.
Real quick, Barbara Kibbe, so are you saying that people of African descent, and while you're on the phone, I have a question for both of you guys. People of African descent, we have eumelanin, and people of other genetic backgrounds, they have pheomelanin?
Yes.
Pheo.
No, not in Peru, he created humanity in the African cosmology, created a black man, brown man, red man, yellow man. All of those people have melanin. Did not create the white man. The white man is basically a mutation. But it's not only in the animal world. If you look at a white butterfly and a black butterfly, they come out of the cocoon at the same time. The black butterfly will be ready to move out and go into its life much quicker than the white butterfly.
Right.
It's really throughout nature.
Okay, so then I have this question for you guys, too, because me and Brother Grasshopper were discussing it earlier. Is there a difference between fair-skinned African people and darker-skinned African people or is the melanin the same? Like, are we all the, if you're African, you have the same amount of melanin. Should we be looking at darker skinned Africans as, closer to God than the lighter skinned Africans? Or how does that work?
Well, you want to answer first, young brother?
Yeah, Nazir.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to explain what my research has led me, and then I'll let him explain what his research has led him. For me, from my understanding, the darker you are, obviously, the more melanin you have, and which the darker you are. I mean, if the source of all life, is pure darkness, the darker you are, and that's the this is the source of all life. So if you're closer to that source, then you're closer to the to that God force. You know what I mean? So from my understanding, the people that have more melanin, or that's why you see people like Michael Jordan able to jump from a free throw line, because they have a really high ton of melanin. It does, from my research, it shows that it does allow you to have more abilities. Just like you look at the Buddha, the real Buddha, not the Asian or light fair-skinned person that they try to show you, but the real Buddha was, almost pitch black, and he was able to reach high levels of consciousness and spirituality due to his content of melanin. And so, I remember, I have an Asian friend who's from Malaysia, and they would talk about, his grandparents would talk about some of the dark people or the dark gods that used to roam China, and they would talk about like how they were, these really, really black people, and there's a lot of people in China till this day who worship these really dark people. So, from my research and everything that I've uncovered, the more melanin you have, the darker you are. Yeah, it definitely makes a difference.
Okay.
And let me just say, being a fair-skinned African, I believe that, again, canoe made black man, brown man, red man, yellow man. All of them have the same kind of melanin.
Right.
And the main thing is, like, even when in the military, they would have what we call night vision. And so it was timed on how long it takes your eyes to switch to where you could see in the dark once it became dark. White boys with blue eyes took 20 minutes. White people with brown eyes and black eyes took about 9 minutes. So, the key to it is, what do you believe? That's really the key to it. Black people, the key to all of this is to recognize who we are, what our melanin is. I have a paper that I wrote on black mysticism. It talks about this being appreciating your melanin 24/7, operating at altitude 360 degrees. So the key to all of this is, what do I believe to be true about me?
Right.
Yes, as anybody, I was able to do anything that I wanted to do, think as fast as anybody. That's why our people, you said something about all the things that black people have done on the planet. White people basically have not come up with one new idea.
Exactly. I've been talking about that a lot recently. Exactly.
But what they do is they know how to market it.
Right.
They market it whether you created it or they have it. So that's the whole thing. And brother, I just want to thank you for the sacrifice that you made.
Yes.
To give up money, give up whatever other things that you had. And anytime you make a sacrifice like that, the key is to ask Creator to give you compensation for that.
Right.
All of your really problems is really in your own consciousness. Brother. Just keep focusing on that, meditating on that, knowing that it is here for you right now, not in the future, right now. visualize yourself having everything you need to do everything you need to do, and it will come to you. Let me just share that with you. So thank you for the opportunity.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Both of you guys, and this is Pineal Grasshopper. Both of you guys is on point, and a great question you put in, guys, Coach Shana. I'm just happy to be a part of this dialogue, and I'm glad you brought this question up, Queen Goddess. The reason being, about a few years ago, I was at some event, they was doing libation, and the person that was doing libation was talking about, you know, the melanated person, the darker you are, the stronger you are, you know. He was giving reference to Khalid Muhammad, giving reference to Jack Johnson, Idi Amin Dada, and, you know, and the sister that was in the attendees got a little offended by it. She was like, well, what about light-skinned folks? You know, we're light-skinned. I mean, we don't have, like you said, Goddess Coach, shout out, we're not as close to that one sovereign spirit as a darker person may be. And the brother said he's not saying that. The conceptualization that was relying on his statement was that black, to me, black is not a color. I'm supposed to speak on my behalf right now. Black is not a color. You know, like the great Khalid Muhammad taught us, is that black is the essence from which all colors come from. So my contingent, or my knowing is that even if you're light-skinned, you know, Ashwell Kwesi is light-skinned, Malcolm X is light-skinned, George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, Huey P. Newton, they were light-skinned, but they tapped into the hue melanin, whether it was the same amount of hue melanin as a Khalid Muhammad had or Idi Amin had. They tapped into it, and like Baba KB said, they used it to their greatest and highest best in this spiritual realm of living on this earth plane. So as Baba KB, myself, we're fond of saying, you know, once again, we create all the colors, we create all the pigmentation, we are the creators of it all, humanity, civilization, reality, language, all that stuff. And we, at a small time, we equate the blood of black people, or the original people, as equated with the blood of Yashira, as the story says. One drop will make you whole. Hey, check this out, family. Hold on, we're going to break. We got one more caller. And
caller with the last 40492, you're on with the Super Conscious Outlet.
Okay, I do truly apologize for being able to speak to everyone right now without having so much knowledge of your research, but I do appreciate you putting in the work for us, brother. I'm definitely going to... Oh, I'm sorry, this is Bruce. I'm sorry, sis.
What? Hey, brother God, peace.
Hey, sis. And hotel to you, Grasshopper. How you doing, brother? Gracious to hear your voice as well.
Brother Bruce?
I love you all.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm going to be in your inbox in a couple of days because I do have a movement. But back to the point. I'm not. I mean, obviously, we've all done our basic research on melanin, and some of us have went a little farther. And again, I do appreciate you, brother, for putting in the work, because we're in the information age, and information just coming out, you know, in abundance right now. I remember getting chill bumps listening to Professor Pukrum describe melanin, you know, as living light, you know, and then it's like, wow, this is where they get this story from. I am the light. I am the truth. But I just want to put in my 2 cents on melanin. I love it because I'm blessed with it, obviously. One thing I noticed with melanin, when she was describing melanin and how you put it, the God particle, it made so much sense to me, because, you know, we're so unaware, you know, by knowing what LeBron James playing and how many rings that Michael Jordan have. We're so unaware to who we are truly, but the whole world does what the melanin people do. We're just not, you know, I hate money, you know, but we're not gaining from it. You know, we came out with breakdancing in the 80s, and the Asians are doing it better than us right now. You know,
right.
we came out with hip hop. We came out with hip hop in the 70s. We came out with rap music in the 70s, and now, you know, my kids turn to Disney Channel and can see one black kid and the rest white, and the rest of the white kids are acting more urban than the one black kid is, rapping, breakdancing. You know, the marketing
Right.
on TV is done through hip hop. Everyone, everybody is doing what we're doing, and when I listen to Professor Pukum go in on Melanin, it just all became full circle to me. You know, we play lotto right now, but half of everybody, grandma, tell you to go play my numbers for me because she's been running numbers since the 40s and the 50s, and so they take everything from us and then package it up and give it right back to us. But that's what gods do. God provides for everyone. And I'm going to set aside because I definitely just want to chime in for a few minutes, and I'm loving the show, and thank you for putting this together, sis and brother. I'm going to sit back.
Thank you for your comment, Brother Bruce.
Thank you, Brother God, for calling in.
I appreciate it.
Aline Bates, did you want to expound on that? What he said?
Yeah, I can expand on a little bit. Yeah, man. I kind of lost my train of thought here. What was that?
I said it happens all the time over here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man. But well, the melody. I think it came back now, but yeah. So just expand on a little bit. Yeah, just like he said. I mean, it's everybody seems to want to do what we do. I mean, we are the trendsetters. I mean, when it comes down to the music, sports. No matter what the way we wear our clothes, no matter what we do, everybody else always seems to follow. And from my understanding, from my research, I mean, that's what we were supposed to do in the first place. We are the caretakers of the planet. You know what I mean? So we are the ones responsible for teaching because of our high content of melanin. We are the ones responsible for teaching you how to do this, teaching you how to do that, because we are the gods on the planet. And when we're off balance, everybody's off balance. So that's why it's important that we understand fully who we are so we can restore the balance on this planet.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I'm like, they stopped evolution when they tried to hold us back for 100 years. Mm-hmm. And they had to hold us back to try to catch up to where we were already.
Right.
But we have to understand, where would we have been already had this confusion hadn't happened? But don't allow that to be our setback. I was speaking with God King Grasshop earlier. If we only understood how this little situation with them has been just a short period of time in our infinite existence on this planet, and this is nothing. This is something that we can overcome. If anything, it's going to make us even stronger. So we have to evolve past the victim stage and the victim personality of, well, I'll never, we can't do anything because white people are here. That personality, and we understand who and what we are, and that this is nothing. It's 400, nothing. They haven't even been here long enough to be a threat anyway.
Exactly, because the thing is, we can live without them, but they can't live without us, and that's why they stopped their attempt to kill us. If they could live without us, we would not exist. Period.
Right.
But they know that they need us around in order for them to make it on this planet.
Right. And we were talking not too long ago, and we're going to go on break after this, but we were talking not too long ago with Baba Phil Valentine, and he was also saying that they're existing because we give them our attention. They have to live off of our energy. You know what I mean? So we have to realize, when you say melanin is the key carbon of all life, we give life to everything. You know what I mean? So we have to understand the importance of us giving our life back to ourselves now, to giving our attention back on us, and really, really uplifting our culture, learning these things about melanin, learning the things about the science of the mind, learning our Moorish history, learning our Kemetic history, our Voodoo, all of that, going back, retracing our roots and understanding that we have nothing to fear. We are the future, we are the past, and we are the present. We're everything on this planet. This entire story is about us.
Exactly. And that's what really blew my mind the most. Like when I got to a point in my research last year when I realized that everything in this planet is about us, and it really just, like I said, it just it just did something to my soul. I realized that all this suffering, all this pain, everything they have done to us. You know, I mean, if I could tell you stories. I remember one time, I used to suffer from anxiety attacks, and so I remember I had an anxiety attack one time in Florida, and my mother pulled over to a gas station and asked a police officer for help, and he just came over to the car and just said, you know, what type of drugs are you on? You know, just really non-compassionate. You know, act like he didn't care at all. You know, I'm sitting there, I can't even breathe. And he's sitting there questioning me about what type of drugs I'm on. I mean, I've been in all type of situations. And, you know, for me to understand this knowledge now and really understand, because the thing is that the common white man, he doesn't understand why he hates us. He just knows he was taught to hate us. You know, he doesn't. Right. He probably doesn't have any clue what the word melanin even is. He probably never even heard of the word melanin, you know. But when you get up into the Scottish Rite Freemasons, a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemasons, you start to understand who the gods on the planet are. And that's the type of information that I have access to, that I plan on exposing. You know, that everything is about us. They know everything is about us. And right. I remember I had a Grand Master, a 33rd degree Freemason, tell me one time, he said, you know, it's rare to be incarnated on this planet, but it's even rarer to be incarnated as black. And at the time, I didn't have no clue what he was talking about until now. Right. So, you know, you know, I really can't wait to really get this film out and really, you know, we're going to dig deep. We're going to talk about, you know, the crimes that's being committed towards us, like, you know, such as them stealing our organs out of our body after we die. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of cases of that lately. You know, black women being the most abducted persons on the face of this planet. You have to ask why. Right. You know, we're gonna get really deep into. Right.
Why are you being so encouraged to have abortions? What are they doing with our baby parts?
Exactly. You know, I remember the executive producer on the project I have, his name is Amir Bey. He was telling me that actually I think he might be trying to call in too. I'm not sure, but he was telling me that back when they used to hang us and lynch us, they used to chop off our toes and arms and all of this stuff and drain the blood and drink it because the melanin gave them you know, extra power, extra strength.
Oh, and they used to grind our bones for medicinal purposes because they believed there was power in our bones.
Exactly. So, you know, for me to understand this, you know, I imagine just the average person who has never heard any of this. I mean, there's probably somebody listening right now who has never heard any of this type of information before. And, you know, this type of information is going to completely blow people's minds because, you know, this film, you know, of course I have a lot of conscious people who are involved with the film and know about it and, you know, they want to make their contribution. But this film is really for the people who are completely plugged in the matrix and who don't have any clue of what's really going on. And it's not just only for the black people, for the white people too, because let me tell you, like I explained on the last show, when I started to learn about melanin, I had a neighbor that, you know, that always displayed some type of racist attitude towards me. You know, I would want to get on the elevator and, you know, he would see me come in and just allow the elevator to close and, you know, he wouldn't speak and, you know, obviously he was a racist. This guy was actually from Alabama. And so after I conducted my my research about melanin, I actually took a few pieces of paper with, you know, all this information on melanin and gave it to him. I didn't even say anything. I just walked up and gave it to him. And I have to say either the next day or a couple of days after that, we met up in the parking deck, and he walked up to me with tears in his eyes and said that the reason he acts like that towards me, and, you know, not only me but other black people, is because, you know, he was taught to hate us, and he never really felt like it was anything wrong with us. If anything, he admired us, but he was taught to hate us, but he never understood why. And the information that I gave him made him understood why, and he looked me square in my eyes and apologized. So from that, it really made me understand how powerful this information is. This is not only something that can awaken our people, but it can also be a tool to destroy racism.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they have to understand when you're disrespecting us, you're disrespecting God.
Say that again.
Let me I don't mean to cut you off. We got a caller sitting there for a while. Caller, thank you for being patient. Caller with the last 4 digits, 2654. You're on Superconscious Outlet? Caller, you there? 2654, last 4 digits. You live. Okay, well, call back if you're listening. Continue to go on before. Or did you want to go on break, Coach Anna?
Actually, yeah, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned in so we can get on this topic a little deeper. It's time to learn how to actually tap into our melanin. So stay tuned in, family. Welcome back. Peace, love, and light, family. Welcome back to the Super Conscious Outlet. We are discussing Melanin, the God Particle, with Brother Nazir Alim Bey. Brother Nazir, are you with us?
Kashona, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can
all right.
hear you.
All right.
And Brother God Grasshopper, are you with us?
Yes, I'm still in the place, present.
Just to get back into dialogue, I did want to ask you a question. Why exactly did you call it the God Particle? What is it so amazing about melanin that it's the God Particle?
Well, it just gets back into what we spoke about earlier. I mean, it's the source of all life. All life begins with melanin. No person. I mean, from the animal, not even just humans, animals, everything, every single thing on this planet that has life, plants, everything on this planet that has life starts with melanin. So if God is so-called perceived as being the life giver, and this is the particle that's responsible for giving life, therefore it must be the God particle.
Right.
So that's why I called it that.
Now, we were speaking on earlier how, darker skin and how we're able to do certain things, noticing that we have more rhythm, we're able to jump higher. Now, it was a little bit of not a debate, but me and God King Grasshopper were talking one day, and we were, like you were speaking on earlier about, other races, Europeans to be specific, learning to rap, learning to play basketball. Now, are they able to carry melanin? Are they able to, how are they learning to have the same attributes that we have?
Well, it's just like on the last show I had with Red Pill and Blue Pill. He was talking about how he went to a area in California where it was a large Rastafarian community, but it was a Rastafarian community of white people. But their children came out really, really dark. It almost looked like black kids. And mind you, these were two white people who were producing fairly dark babies, and everything about them was just, it was black, And the reason this is because they like the thing is they absorb energy too, and by them hanging around us so much, they're absorbing what we give off. Because like I said, with melanin, we are the life bringers. We absorb energy, but we put out a lot of energy too. And so by them hanging around them, by that group of people hanging around so many black Rastas, they started to absorb some of our melanin. You know what I mean? Like how Amir told me, back in the slave days, they would take a black child, and because they said like the highest concentration of melanin is in the sole of your foot, and so he would talk about how they would take a black child and have him lay on the floor and put his feet up on his slave master, and he would sit there for hours just with his feet just sitting on top of him. So, I mean, they're able to pick up. I mean, because when you think about all of these so-called white rappers, right? How many of these white rappers like Eminem and all of these people who are out here successful as a white rapper? Look at the areas they grew up in. Were they not hanging around a group of black people?
Right.
It's almost impossible for them to develop things like that if they're not around people absorbing that type of frequency, that type of energy.
Yeah.
Right. That is amazing. That's amazing. Now, do you know of any solutions on? I know you were mentioning earlier hair products and I've even been told that the soap that we're using extracts melanin. Talk about that a little. Elaborate on that.
Yeah, that was one of that's like I said, like this film is definitely going to be a film that's going to be a complete eye opener, and I plan on leaving people's mouths on the floor when they learn what's being done to them on account of that melanin. But that right there, there's so many products out here. I actually had a list. I don't have a list in front of me, but it was actually a list of all the products that's harmful to melanin. And once the Melanin The God Particle site is up, I'll actually have that list available. But the best thing I can tell you, in order for you not to destroy your melanin, you need to go as natural as possible. And I mean natural soap, natural deodorant, everything, all natural organic foods. Everything, because there are a lot of chemicals inside of, and you have to understand there are scientists that are paid that study melanin. I mean, when you talk about chemistry is simply the study of melanin. You have people who their whole life, like Amir was telling me, they have a $60,000 papers out there that you could buy in order to really look at the science of melanin and what it really is. And the thing is, there are people out there who study melanin each and every single day of their life, and they come up with ways to be able to counter it, to be able to destroy it, to be able to kill it. And so, they market these products in the black neighborhoods, and even with the drugs like cocaine and all these psychedelic drugs. All of these drugs are created in labs and put in the black community just to destroy your melanin. So, like the thing is, like I said, we are the life bringers, we are the originals. So the best thing and not even just us, but anybody, is to stay organic as possible. Me, I don't use any. After I learned that, I stopped using anything that had chemicals in it. So, and see, my thing is, I don't believe they can actually destroy melanin, but I believe they can actually, probably slow it down. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, because, it is a pigment that is responsible for creating color. You know what I mean? So, but, obviously I haven't seen anybody just went from black to white. Or actually, let me take that back, because we don't know what happened to Michael. So, actually in my whole melanin study, somebody was talking about how they created this whole vitiligo thing, and they did something to him to turn him from black to white. So, I don't know how true that is, but they're definitely been paid really well in order to learn how to destroy melanin.
Wow, right.
Yeah, that's real. That is definitely real. Yeah, how old are you? 23, young brother?
What was that?
You 23 years of age?
Yeah, 23 years.
You're definitely ahead of your time, brother. Definitely well ahead of your time. I definitely commend you for the information knowledge you brought forth on this show today. And you were right and exact when it comes to taking care or caretaking to our melanin, eating right food, and definitely, like you said, family, you got to keep that cocaine, you got to keep that alcohol out of your system, because they made the cocaine molecule as close as they can get to melanin. And that's why when a brother or a sister get caught on that substance or drug disease of addiction called coke, smoking that crack, it's harder for them to break off, because, that molecule, that cocaine molecule, is really so similar to the melanin. It's hard for them to pretty much break off of that, though. So definitely, the brothers definitely use some pearls of wisdom. What other methodologies or, let's say, techniques one can use? We know what not to put in the melanin. What can we use to release our melanin to its greatest and highest best? Give us some examples. I could just kind of speak on some personal experiences that I had when I first started to, kind of come into a lot of knowledge. Number one, like I said, I changed my diet to where, I was only eating organic fruits and vegetables. No meat, no fish, no nothing, just only organic fruits and vegetables. And I was meditating. I started to meditate. I started off at 30 minutes a day, then it went up to an hour and a half, and it got to the point where I can just sit there for hours. Meditation and yoga, and all of this is just to simply bring up your vibrations, and once you start to bring up your vibrations,
this illusion, that the best way I can explain it is this matrix that's in front of you, it becomes irrelevant. I got to such a high place in consciousness, which I came to find out it was through my melanin that I was able to reach this place, but to a point to where I didn't fear anything. You know, like, I don't fear absolutely, and if somebody could walk in my house right now and put a gun to my head, I mean, it would just be like nothing, because through the melanin, I'm able to live outside of this illusion. You understand?
Right.
Like it's like with you, you know, with y'all being conscious, and you know, I'm pretty sure that, you know, I'm only 23, so I'm just starting, you know, but I'm pretty sure you guys been in it for a while, so obviously I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But just trying to explain it to somebody who don't have any clue of what I'm talking about, who has never reached these high states of consciousness, with your melanin, you can achieve of what they call a Christ consciousness or higher consciousness.
Right.
Honestly, people don't like to put time limits on it, but I can say within 6 months, if you really applied yourself and worked on yourself, like I said, with meditation, yoga, eating all organic fruits and vegetables, as being a person of high melanin, you can achieve that consciousness within 6 months.
Right.
And
yeah.
this is yeah, and this is and when once you, and for people who don't understand what a higher consciousness is, once you reach a higher consciousness, because your whole process and raising your vibrations and unlocking your chakras, is almost like you start understanding, like, things become clearer. You get this clarity about things, and you don't have to look into a book or anything to be able to understand. It's just like somebody just whispered in your ear and told you. And one of the examples is, I remember when the energy hit my heart chakra, and all of a sudden, it's like just instantly I understood what love really was. You know, and when I say love, like, I'm not talking about just the regular I love you, you know, or this feeling that you feel like, oh, you have this strong emotion. No, I'm talking about the life that comes from love. And it's like something like I didn't have to read any books to understand this. And I remember listening to, I don't know if you're familiar with a famous poet by the name of Rumi.
Yeah.
He talked about a lot about love. Yeah, it's like I started to listen to a lot of Rumi's poems, and it's like I could fully understand and connect with everything he was saying. Now, prior to my energy being in my heart chakra, I wouldn't have had a clue what he was talking about. You know what I mean? I probably would have thought he was talking about something else. But when that energy hit that heart chakra, it's like I knew exactly what he meant. And the thing is, my process, my whole enlightenment process, I mean, started to move really, 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 really quick. And like I said, it seemed like each day I was getting stronger. And then I came to the point where I realized that you can be happy if you choose to be happy. Right. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that I did. Go ahead.
I was just saying Ashe.
Right. And so, there were so many things that I was able to understand. And for me, my whole thing was, why am I able to understand this so fast? You know what I mean? Like, why? It's like like I said, it took me about a good 6 months to just get really high in consciousness. And I won't say that I reached full Christ consciousness. I definitely haven't reached full Christ consciousness, but I know I've reached levels of it. I've reached levels of understanding. And obviously, I feel like, once you, and that's another thing, because I'm my name Nazir actually means an observer. I sit back and observe a lot of things, and one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of people who are on the spiritual path, once they get to a point of almost enlightenment, things start happening within their life in order to take them away from that enlightenment. And that's why that's what I felt happen when I got the offer, the opportunity to work with these rap artists.
Right,
so,
it's a contrasting experience that will happen to help you fine-tune your desire to truly be enlightened. So you have to, it's like you knew you were enlightened, but now you know. Now you know you're enlightened because of being able to see that and know the right direction. But, Brother God, we do have Brother Amir ready to join us, so we're going to let him join us. Brother Amir, welcome to the Super Conscious Outlet.
Welcome. Peace. Thank you guys for cueing me in.
Yes, welcome. And quickly, can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Well, just a little bit about myself. My name is Amir Khalifa El Bey, also known as Ace Bey, or King B. Will. I am a Moor. I am in Atlanta. I've been working with Nazir on this project, and that's probably more than what I'll talk about. I'll talk about this project more than myself, but because that's the whole focus right now. It's not on myself, so I just want to kind of reflect that light to the project. But he got me on as executive producer, which means I'll be in charge of raising the funds and also getting the interviews that we need in this particular documentary, and also, trying to facilitate the distribution and marketing. So I'm very excited to be a part of this project. Melanin The God Particle is definitely something that we need in every, household, not just in a black household, but every household, because, melanin is a substance that's, that's in the universe, in every plant form, in every animal form, in every organ in your body there's melanin. So we just need to understand how powerful it is, and once we understand how powerful it is, then, we would nurture that and protect it and have a better understanding of ourselves, and the power that we possess.
Right. I share that. Can you tell us, in your own words, do you have some type of ways that we can access our melanin or use it to its fullest potential?
Well, some ways that I figured out is of course meditation. Deep spiritual meditation, traveling through different realms. Also, vitamin D, staying in the sunlight, getting as much vitamin D as possible. Staying away from processed foods, of course, and fluoridated water. Also, using crystals, to help activate and align and open certain chakras in your body, so that all of your chakras are open to, activate your melanin.
So how do we use the crystals? When you say crystals, like, do we put it on our pineal gland? How do we use it? Do we share our body?
Well, yeah, you can put certain crystals on your pineal gland.
Okay. So, I know we spoke on it a little bit earlier, but when we say pineal, we all are recognizing that melanin is a hormone that is secreted by the pineal gland. And this is one of the reasons why our ancestors focused so much on the pineal gland. So for all of the listeners making the connections of the importance behind melanin, when we see those pictures of ancient Kemet, and we see them always focusing on your third eye, your pineal gland, and we see them talking about facing the sun and all of these things, well, melanin is the hormone that is secreted by the pineal gland. So this is what they were speaking about. This is why we say know thyself, knowledge of self, because we get caught up in just the look of Kemet, we intellectualizing it and not internalizing it. So we need to understand exactly what our ancestors were trying to show us. And now, like Brother Bruce said earlier, this is the information age. So it's time to do that research for ourselves and tap into our melanin.
Right. And I just kind of want to elaborate on it when you was talking about, having knowledge of self and our ancestors and what they were trying to tell us on the walls. I recently just saw a movie trailer for a movie called Exodus, Gods, and Kings, where they portrayed the ancient Egyptians as being white people. And this, like I said, I do a lot of meditation, and obviously, it takes a whole lot to get me angry. But this really struck a nerve because you have a lot of people who are going to view this film. You have a lot of people who are going to view this film, and they're going to view it as being reality. Like this is really who the ancient Egyptians were. And then not only do they have the white people portraying the Egyptians, but they have black people as being slaves. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, and so the thing is, we really need to. It's vital, really, 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 really important that that we support our own filmmakers, so we can tell the story of how it's really supposed to be told. Because
right.
And it really got me because with the project, like I said, the project was on Kickstarter. It wasn't successful as far as funding, but we got almost 2,000 Facebook shares. Now, we got almost 2,000 Facebook shares, and out of those 2,000 Facebook shares, we got about 40-something donations, probably almost 50, or if not 50 at the max. So, and what got me was I started to do a little bit of research on a lot of the people who shared the project, and I saw a lot of these people talking about how they went and spent their money to see a movie called Lucy, which was talking about melanin. And so, it really just got me because in our community, we go and spend money on a movie like Lucy, who's talking about melanin, but they're going to use a white face in order to tell the story.
Right.
But and then and you spend the money making them richer to watch their lie. You know what I mean? Versus funding a project that's going to come full-fledged and tell you the truth flat out with nothing hidden. Everything's coming to the light.
Yeah. Right, and it's not aching you.
Right. And so, I know a lot of these same people, even though, especially in the conscious community, a lot of people are going to be outraged at the fact that they have white cast members, but they're probably going to go pay their money anyway just to see this white cast member. And so, we really have to break away from this type of thinking, and we need to start putting these resources in our own community. Because another thing me and Amir was talking about was after the project is out, and once we're able to make some money off of the project, we're planning on opening up libraries, African literature, opening up community centers, going on tour. We plan on doing a lot. Not only are we planning on taking money from the film, we actually plan on putting it right back into the community. You know what I mean? So it's of course there's a lot of people who, especially in the conscious community, what I've noticed is people who make money in the conscious community or off of the conscious community, but they're not putting the money back into the community. And
they're exploiting the culture.
Yeah, they're exploiting the culture. They're exploiting the culture. And let me, I'm making this clear. I want to really make this clear. I am not that person. Like I said, Amir knows. Like I said, I won't name the artist, but Amir knows the artist who I was working with, who I made that decision that, hey, I'm not going to work with him because I want to be able to help my people. I'm walking away from money to get in a position to where I have to put a lot of my own money in order to make this happen. So, when this film comes out, it's more than just me putting out a documentary. Even though it's as profound as it is, it's more than just me putting out a documentary that's going to change lives. It's about everything that can happen after this point. You know what I mean? Because I truly believe that I'm somebody that's sent here in order to help people. So I only have the desire to help people. And so now, Melanin The God Particle, this is just installment one. We're going to have many installments, and not only we're going to be focusing on melanin, but a lot of issues that are not being talked about. Because, I'm one of those people where, like I said, I see no fear no more. So I'm going to talk about what everybody else is afraid to talk about. I have a lot of people telling me I'm crazy for wanting to even touch on a subject like this and do it at a scale that when I'm trying to do it. But, obviously I could care less.
Right.
That's no,
this is definitely your calling.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
While we're on the subject, can you guys let the listeners know how they can participate? Where, when, and where will we be able to send donations? When will that start again? Because I know everyone has a strong burning desire to support you and to see this project come into fruition. So can you share that with us?
Right. We're actually supposed to sit down with the crowdfunding this week to talk about how we're going to go about marketing the project. Because, like I said, the first time I put the project up, I was under the impression that Kickstarter was, responsible for kind of promoting the project, and I thought it was like a place to where a lot of the investors just came to. You know what I mean? So, I didn't have any clue that I was already supposed to have my own crowd, and it was pretty much just a platform for them to be able to go donate to. So once we get everything in place as far as marketing, I'm planning on putting it up on Indiegogo. It'll probably be back up on Indiegogo within the next week or two. If I don't know if everybody on the call is following me on Facebook, but if you're not, you can find me at Nazir Alim Bey. Just type in Nazir Alim Bey on Facebook and follow me, and I'll definitely keep you updated as far as when the project is going to launch again.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to come back on the show at least once, whenever you're available, on Saturdays, and just call in and kind of let us update us to continue to help promote and market the project, because I honestly feel like the ancestors are 100% behind this project, and I know it's going to get done. I don't even an if, because the way that you speak on how it came into your being, that's a sign. There's a lot of things that when I went through my awakening, I couldn't see the how, but it manifested. Things happened, and they lined up to where everything the ancestors told me I was going to do, I have done. So it will be done. So give your information one more time, and if you have any last words you want to share with us, I would love to hear from you and Brother Amir.
Okay, like I said, you can, if you want to get in contact with me directly, you can just email me at greenlightfilms with an S 25, the number 25 at gmail.com, or you can just follow our Twitter page at Melanin God, or you can just follow me on Facebook at Nazir Alim Bey. Just type in Nazir Alim Bey. And as far as anything extra, the only thing I can say is, this is it. Just like Michael Jackson said, this is it. I mean, if you really want to know the truth at why you're really, I don't really want to say hated, I really want to say feared, this is it. I mean, it doesn't get no more profound than this. They try to explain every other reason as to why black people are hated. I remember watching a documentary. Actually, I remember seeing a few case studies in some documentaries where they had a black child, and they had, and y'all probably saw this before, but they had two dolls in front of the child, a white doll and a black doll. Right. They asked the child, which one is smarter. Of course, she pointed at the white doll, said which one is prettier. Of course, she pointed at the white doll, and they asked her why. And all of them said because of their white skin and their blue eyes, And so, when I have to be honest. I mean, I'm 6'3", almost 200 pounds, and I broke down. I mean, it's just like this is horrible. I mean, this is from that age. You have to understand, nobody on that case study was over the age of 4 years old. So from early on, we're already conditioned to hate ourselves. So it's time to do some reconditioning. Right. And we have to stop looking at our black skin as a badge of shame, and understand that this is the most thing to be proud of more than anything, more than your Jordans, more than your Louis Vuitton. Nothing you can buy can equate to your own skin. You understand? So I mean, like I said, like it's not just for the conscious community. I'm looking to awaken everybody and really help them understand you are it. You are the prize. It doesn't get deeper than you. You are it.
That is so powerful. That is so powerful, and I like that, you said it is definitely not a badge of shame. Like you say, it is more powerful than wearing that Louis Vuitton and them Jordans. It is the most positive attribute you've been given by the Creator. You are the Creator in the universe in physical flesh. You are light. Right. You are really the reflection of God. That is so beautiful and so powerful. I salute you. Like I said earlier, I already claimed for you that this project will come into fruition, and I know by your spirit that you won't stop until it's done. So I already know it's going to happen.
Right.
And
right.
Brother Amir, is there anything you would like to share with our listeners?
I think Nazir pretty much covered it all. You know, I love that he's young with that fearless, you know what I'm saying, attitude that we need to reignite a revolution. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just excited to be a part of this project. I wish that everybody, you know, like he said, would, instead of buying those Jordans, you know, that Louis Vuitton purse, just feeling in their heart to donate to this project to make sure that it's funded by us, for us, because the film is about us. And like you said, we're sitting down meeting with a crowdfunding specialist that can take it to any amount of investor, because the way we have our numbers set up, it's a profitable project, you know what I'm saying? And people are going to get their return on investment very quickly once that, you know, that we found the distribution. And because we plan on going to Netflix, we plan on, you know, going to the Science Channel, going to National Geographic, you know, channels like this to try to get the film showed, you know, after we make the DVD money. But you know, there's no reason that why we can't fund this ourselves. You know, we have $1.1 trillion at our disposal, you know, which makes us the richest non-nation, you know, of people anywhere on the face of this earth. So we have the money to do it, you know, and we're just asking that people see the value in this film. You know, we're going to give, like I said, not just black people, but other people, you know, real knowledge on what this melanin is all about and why it's valued at $353 per gram, which is higher than gold or rhodium or silver or copper or any precious gem that you can find out there. Melanin is $353 a gram. So understand that you really do possess the God particle. You know, they're really doing studies and meetings and secret gatherings and talking about melanin. Scientists, metaphysics, astrophysics come together and they talk and discuss their new findings on melanin. So we're being basically dissected like lab rats to find out what's so special about us, and they're studying us, you know, to find out what's so special about us. And they know, you know, they have this information. It's $60,000 papers that are hidden, you know, in vaults of melanin, you know, that they don't want us to find out about. So, you know, and we've seen that, like in the movie Lucy, like he was referring to. If anybody's seen that movie, that whole movie was about melanin, you know. They had a European woman, but the whole movie was about melanin. So they're telling us how powerful we are subconsciously, but you just got to be conscious enough to understand it and decode it and read between the lines. But this film is gonna do all of that. This film is gonna decode. It's gonna, you know, we're gonna try to access people who are using it, you know, more melanin than others. You know, we're trying to get other people's viewpoints on what they think melanin is. You know, so this movie is going to be very, very well done, you know, very professional and very in-depth on the subject of melanin. And like I said, I'm just excited to be a part of it. Thank you guys for having us on the show. You know, we appreciate you guys for giving us a platform to present it to your listeners. And if everybody can just, you know, go to greenlightfilms@gmail.com and send them a PayPal link or something. You know, let them know that we're interested, you know, in seeing this movie coming to fruition. Because I promise you, we're going to do excellent things with this movie. You know, this is going to open a lot of doors and a lot of conversations that we can have. Because white people don't even know why they hate us. You know, not to call them white, but Europeans don't even know why they hate us. You know, They have no idea. They just talk, you know, that you know, that's a nigger and we hate him, you know what I'm saying? But they never understand why. They never understood why, you know, when they hung slaves, why their ancestors used to cut off their toes and their genitals and their ears, and you know, and drink, you know, the melanin, the diluted melanin, you know, from the grain alcohol. So,
Right.
They understand our science. They know how deep we are. They know how powerful we are. We have to understand it ourselves.
Ashe. I salute both of you. I thank you guys so much for joining us and just enlightening us. This has been a very enlightening show. And I know that the project will be done. It's already done. The ancestors have already claimed it. It is already in existence. We are just now watching it unfold. So we salute you. We are so proud of both of you guys. You guys continue to come back to the show. We want to promote until it's done. You're more than welcome every show to come on and speak about it for about 5 or 10 minutes every Saturday with me. And even my other family on Universal Radio, they're welcoming you also. So, family, wow, what an amazing and powerful and informative show. Remember, family, our black skin is definitely not a badge of shame, but it is a badge of honor. So we salute all of the beautiful melanated beings out there. When you get up tomorrow or before you go to sleep tonight, look in the mirror and just kiss yourself and know that you are beautiful. Grasshopper, to you.
Indeed. First of all, I want to thank the guests we have, Brother Nazir, Lean Bay, and I do believe Amir Bay for coming and sharing great information with us. I want also to thank the listeners and those who called in. Without you, Superconscious Outlet would not exist. We also have some great programs throughout the week on Universal Blog Talk Radio, starting tomorrow night with Let's Talk About It. That show starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the host of that show is Miss Z, Zimriah Davis, and co-host Tiffany L. Gibson. If you want to tune in, simply call at the number 646-787-8180. Press 1 at any time to chime in, or you can visit by listening on internet, www.blogtalkradio.com/Universal Radio number 2. Then we have a show Monday, the Jay Allen Show, time 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to listen in, the same number, 646-787-8180. Press number 1 at any time. Just ask a question, or you can visit us on the web at www.blogtalkradio.com/Universal Radio number 2. And that is the Jay Allen Show. The host is Jay Allen Greer. Yeah, I do believe living in harmony, but she is expecting, so you have a special guest co-host this coming Monday. Shout out to her. Tuesday, we have the Getting It In Show. The host of that show is Liz Rebecca. Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The number to listen to the show is 347, area code that is, 857-1166. Once again, the Liz Rebecca Show. That is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Tune in. We have Wednesday, You Must Learn. The host of that show is Lamar Williams and co-host Martin McBee Brown. That show starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The number is 646-787-8180. Once again, press 1 to chime in, or you can listen online at blogtalkradio.com/Universal Radio number 2. Then I do believe on Thursday we have Black Love. The host of that show is Nazir Shaheed, I do believe. Start time 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the number for that show is 347, area code, 857-1166. So we have a lot of good shows throughout the week. And last but definitely not least, Superconscious Outlet Show, the show you listen to right now, every Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, with your host, Koshana Quayle, and the co-host, yours truly, Grasshopper, a.k.a. Pianki. So tune in to these shows throughout the week. They're definitely enlightening, inspiring, and it will definitely prick your level of understanding and consciousness. God is Koshana. Over to you.
All right. Well, I am very, very excited about this project that is coming up, family. So I want you guys to all keep in mind that he is needing funding. I would like you guys to all check him out. Go to his Facebook page. Go to his links that he gave you, and look into a way that you can help support such an amazing project and know that you were a part of something great. I love you. Tune in next weekend, and we will see you then. Peace, love, and light.
Good job.